You know what else is happening at DOJ this week? Attorney General Pam Bondi released the Epstein files, at least in part. But oops, it was missing lots of information, which she is now looking into. Information, of course, that also consists of Donald Trump's predatory relationships with underage girls, including, as noted in a court filing, forcing a young girl to perform oral sex on him. I'm going to read you directly from the court filing that was released last summer on this. I should warn you, this is repulsive and it is also quite explicit. It's directly from the ruling here. Quote, on the third occasion involving the defendant, Donald J. Trump, the plaintiff, Katie Johnson, was forced to engage in an unnatural lesbian act with her fellow minor and sex slave, Maria Doe, age 12, for the sexual enjoyment of defendant Trump. After this sex act, both minors were forced to orally copulate defendant Trump by placing their mouths simultaneously on his erect penis until he achieved sexual orgasm. After zipping up his pants, defendant Trump physically pushed both minors away while angrily berating them for their poor quality of their sexual performance. Remember, these are young girls. On the fourth and final sexual encounter with the defendant, Donald J. Trump, the plaintiff, Katie Johnson, was tied to a bed by defendant Trump, who then proceeded to forcibly rape plaintiff Johnson. During the course of this savage sexual attack, plaintiff Johnson loudly pleaded with defendant Trump to please wear a condom. Defendant Trump responded by violently striking plaintiff Johnson in the face with his open hand and screaming that he would do whatever he wanted, as he refused to wear protection. After achieving sexual orgasm, the defendant, Donald J. Trump, put his suit back on, and when the plaintiff, Katie Johnson, in tears, asked defendant Trump what would happen if he had impregnated her, defendant Trump grabbed his wallet and threw some money at her and screamed that she should use the money to, quote, get a effing abortion. So that is directly from a court filing, of course, in which it is described of sexual abuse between Donald Trump and the victims here, of course. And when there wasn't this major release delivered on the Epstein files like everybody had hoped for this week, Pam Bondi, the Attorney General of the United States, went on Fox and said it's going to take a minute because we're redacting certain information because it'll hurt national security. Which begs the question here, what is the information that's going to hurt national security? Is this information set to be redacted about Donald Trump? And if so, why are you redacting it? Isn't that a public interest? Shouldn't the public know this? That the President of the United States berated young girls after abusing and raping them. Says defendant Trump grabbed his wallet and threw some money at her and screamed that she should use the money to, quote, get a effing abortion.
But a lot of big people went to that island. But fortunately, I was not one of them.
It's just very strange for a lot of people that the list of clients that went to the island has not been made public.
Yeah, it's very interesting, isn't it? Probably will be, by the way. Probably.
So if you're able to, you'll be...
Yeah, I'd certainly take a look at it.
Would you declassify the 9/11 files?
Yeah.
Would you declassify JFK files?
Yeah. I did a lot of it.
Would you declassify the Epstein files?
Yeah, I would.
All right.
I guess I would. I think that less so because, you don't know. You don't want to affect people's lives if it's phony stuff in there because there's a lot of phony stuff with that whole world. But I think I would.
James Comer said yesterday that all the Epstein files are missing. Can you confirm the status of them? We still haven't heard from you.
No, the FBI, they're reviewing, there are tens of thousands of videos of Epstein with children or child porn. And there are hundreds of victims. and no one victim will ever get released. It's just the volume, and that's what they're going through right now. The FBI is diligently going through that. I haven't seen that statement.
The U.S. government is now saying financier Jeffrey Epstein never kept a client list.
We had heard about that, and it contradicts claims from Attorney General Pam Bondi, who months ago said such a document was, quote, sitting on my desk. The two-page memo from the Justice Department FBI also confirmed Epstein's death was a suicide, and no further charges are expected to be filed in the case. It happened in jail. The conclusion is the opposite of what Pam Bondi had promoted before his death. Epstein was accused of a range of offenses, mostly related to sex trafficking and the exploitation of underage girls. Conspiracy theories mocked the government report. Alex Jones wrote, next, the DOJ will say Jeffrey Epstein never even existed.
Yeah, a lot of the Trump MAGA base not happy about that report.